We're new at Zoom.
We're not new at Zoom. Okay, so we're recording. Go ahead, Tracy.
All right, well, welcome everybody. There may be a few other people trickling in, which is great. I am Dr. Dawson Green, and I am the chair of the department right now, and I have been a professor here for a lot of years, and I'm here to kind of greet you, say hello, and meet you, and then I'll turn you over to Dr. Williams for some more information. But first I want to say just welcome. I know you're not necessarily here, but welcome to VCU, and thanks for joining us. We'd love to see everybody's face so we can start putting names with faces. Of course, that's not required. We're just glad you're here regardless, but if we can see your face, that'd be even better. And with that, what I would really like to do, I see everybody's got their name on their panel, which is helpful. So the first thing I'd really like to do is go around and just for everybody to say just their first name and where you're from, like what if you're in undergrad, what institution you're at right now. Can we do that, Sarah? Really quickly?
Sure.
All right. So let's we'll do faculty. You're going to do faculty next, or we'll do faculty in a second, but we'll just do the students that are, yes. So let's start with Elizabeth.
Hi, my name's Elizabeth. I'm from Mercyhurst University, which is in Erie, Pennsylvania.
Great. Olivia.
I'm Olivia. I'm studying forensic science at VCU right now.
Thanks. Andrea.
Sorry, I muted myself. I'm from Fayetteville, and I graduated from Fayetteville State University last year with my bachelor's in forensic science.
David.
Hey, my name's David. I'm from Western Carolina University. I'm studying forensic science.
Great. Hannah.
Hi, my name is Hannah. I am a senior biology major at Randolph-Macon College in Ashland.
Great. Aisha.
Hi, I'm Aisha, and I graduated from VCU in forensic science in, I think, May 2020.
Oh, great. Good to see you again. Paige.
Hi, my name is Paige. I go to Eastern Kentucky University, which is in Richmond, Kentucky, studying forensic science.
Great. Aaron.
Hi, my name is Aaron. I'm studying chemistry and sociology at William and Mary.
Leanne.
Hi, my name is Leanne, but I go by Lee, and I'm a chemistry major at James Madison University.
Ashley.
Hi, I'm Ashley. I'm also a senior chemistry major at James Madison University.
Great. Riley.
Hi, I'm Riley. I'm studying biology at University of Virginia.
Inez.
Hi, I'm Inez. I'm a senior chemistry major, math and French double minor, originally from Philly, but I'm studying at Howard University right now.
Great, welcome. Delini.
Hello, my name is Tilini, and I graduated from the University of Peradeniya, Sri Lanka.
Awesome. Elkin.
Good morning, everyone. I'm from South Florida, and I got my bachelor's in forensic science at the University of Central Florida in Orlando.
Great. Sophie.
Hi, I'm Sophie. I'm a senior at Appalachian State, and I'm studying chemistry.
Welcome. Wanyan? Not sure if I got that right. Wanyan. Oh, okay. He's working, so he can't unmute. So Wanyan says hello, and he is working. He is from upstate New York and went to Birmingham University for a biology major. Welcome. Thank you for listening in. Morgan.
Hi, everyone. My name is Morgan. I am currently studying forensic science at VCU and graduating next month.
Great. I think that's all the students. Did I miss any? Oh, wait, there's another page now. Abby? I think Abby left. Okay, I think I got everyone there. That's our guest. So again, I wanted to welcome you to VCU, to Richmond, Virginia. I know many of you have already committed to coming to our master's program in the fall, and we're excited to see you when you get here. Some of you have, all of you have been admitted. Some of you may not have made a decision yet. So we really want to make sure that we get your questions answered today as well. As you all know, our master's program here is a phenomenal program. I think we're a very highly rated program, no matter what list you look at. So you should all pat yourselves on the back just for even getting admitted. It's a very competitive program. It's a program that we've worked really hard on over the years to make very good, top notch, and we hope that you all will find it to be what you expect when you get here. We have a lot of hands-on lab work here. You're going to get a lot of hands-on. You're each going to get a directed research experience with either one of our faculty or one of our external partners in a laboratory. You'll have a lot of opportunity here to network, to go to professional meetings, to present, and so I think that you're going to love it. I myself love it. I came here really because of this master's program 20 years ago, never thinking that I would stay this long, and here I am 20 years later. So I hope that you will come here and have the same draw, not just towards Richmond, but to VCU and to this Department of Forensic Science. We're a very close-knit department. We're a small department, even though we are sitting on a very large campus. And I think that makes for the best of both worlds, because we have the resources of a very large institution, but the department itself is small. So you will get to know your faculty and the staff that work in the department on a first name basis. And we all maintain really close working relationships with our graduate students. So I hope that you guys will get all your questions answered today, and certainly if you haven't made your decision yet, to ask away, and we'll try to help guide you in the right direction. We want to make sure this is the best fit for you as well. So with that, I think we'll start with the faculty and staff introductions. Is that right, Sarah? All right, so do you want to go first, Sarah? I've already introduced myself, Tracy.
You want to just talk a little bit about what you teach and your background and what research you do?
Yeah, so I'm Tracy. Like I said, I'm currently the chair and a professor here, and my background is forensic DNA. So before I came here, I worked in a private forensic DNA laboratory, and we did high throughput casework and convicted offender sample processing for local, state, and a couple of federal public laboratories. So that was my background. I was technical leader and assistant director there. And then I decided to come back to a university setting. And here I have a research lab, and that's one of my primary jobs is as a researcher here. And then I also teach mostly graduate classes in the area of forensic DNA. And so hopefully I'll see some of you in one of my classes if you come here next year. So that's a little bit about my background. Sarah?
Sure. Hi, guys. I've talked to most of you at this point, so it's great to see you all again. I am the graduate program director, but I'm also an associate professor here and have a research laboratory. My background is also in forensic biology. I worked at the Virginia Department of Forensic Science doing casework in serology and DNA for 4 years before I came back to VCU to teach. So I'm a VCU alum on the master's side, and then I got my PhD here as well. So I've been here a while. And my research focuses on body fluid identification and kind of smoothing out the front end of analysis in a forensic biology laboratory prior to the DNA.
Joe?
Hi, I'm Joe Murphy, and I've probably emailed most of you guys, if not everybody. I'm the non-science person. If you saw my tagline, I have a master's in social work from VCU. And I'm just here to support the students and faculty, as well as teach a service learning class and am involved with community engagement because we think that that's really important. Probably for everybody at VCU, we're an urban university, but especially forensic science, since that's such a cool science. And welcome.
Yeah.
And go Who's.
Oh yes, Riley is all about it. Okay, let me see who's next. Eric.
Hey everybody, it's good to see all your faces. My name is Eric Hazelrigg. I'm the Associate Chair and I am an Associate Professor at VCU. My background is in trace evidence. I went through the master's program too, long time ago, and went to work down at the crime lab downtown as a trace evidence analyst for many years and then came over here to teach. So welcome everybody.
Great. Vanishwar.
Hello everyone, my name is Vanessa Singh. I'm an associate professor in the department. I did my PhD from West Virginia University and then did my postdoc from Texas A&M University in College Station. And then since last 8 years, I think, yeah, I'm here and my research is in forensic entomology, forensic microbiology and forensic biology. It's kind of all together, but mostly how old the dead body is and how we can use bugs and bacteria to solve these issues. Yeah, welcome to VCU. Nice to see you all here.
Thanks, B. Chris.
Hey everyone. I'm a research PI here in the department. My background is primarily molecular biology and environmental microbiology. And so my research is a little bit of interdisciplinary between trace chemical profiling, molecular biology, cellular biology, and then forensic microbiology. And I teach the instrumentation class, statistics, and then some survey courses.
Thanks, Chris. Emanuele.
Hi, my name is Emanuele, and I'm a faculty here at VCU. I'm a research faculty, I'm an assistant professor, and I am in the area of toxicology and pharmacology and drug analysis. So my research projects are mainly based in analysis of opioids or forensic drugs of interest in the areas of mechanistic toxicology, drug-drug interactions, animal models, and pathology. I think I'm here since 2020, so I'm new faculty, and I'm also PI on the lab. So I have a group, lab group, and usually I accept students from the master program to work with me. So I think it is just that.
Thank you. Let's see, Kate.
Hi, everyone. My name's Kate Philpott. I went through the master's program, like some others, and did not go on to become a forensic analyst. I actually went straight from the master's program at VCU to a law program at UVA. So I have a JD in master's. So I have done a lot with forensics from not the same side that you might see if you go on to become forensic experts, but scrutinizing forensic case files, and a lot with admissibility of forensic evidence. So I teach the law classes. I see some smiling faces from the undergrad law classes. I teach them on the graduate level as well, and professional practices and expert testimony.
Okay. Okay, I think that we have had one new guest join us, Alexis. Alexis, we did the introduction of the students a little bit earlier. So would you mind just telling us who you are and where you're from?
Hi everyone, my name is Alexis. I am currently an undergrad at Sam Houston State University for forensic chemistry. I'm from Texas, so the time zone change is a little different. Sorry for the delay, but thank you for having me today.
Great, thank you. Thanks for joining us. All right. Well, again, I welcome you guys, and we can't wait to see your faces in person and to get to know you a little bit more. If you have any questions of us, make sure you ask. You can, of course, Sarah is your first kind of line of defense, but you can always ask Joe or any of us that you see here today. Our emails are available on our website. If there's anything that we can do to help you either in your decision-making process or once you start thinking about coming to campus, please let us know. And lastly, I want to let you all know, as you start to move in during the summer, to move to Richmond in the summer, please come check us out. Me and Joe and Barbara are here almost every day, and then Sarah's in a lot, our program directors, and Eric is in a lot, and we love to see people in the summer. It's kind of dead, to be honest with you. And so when you get to Richmond, please come and see us. Don't wait till August. Come by, say hello. Even if you don't have any questions, that would be great to go ahead and meet you. All right, so with that, I'll turn it back over to Sarah.
All right, thank you, Tracy, and thank you to the faculty who came in. I have to admit, I was paying attention to the introductions and didn't pull up my PowerPoint, so just give me a second. One of those days.
Can I just say one other thing? There's a couple faculty members who are not here with us. They're teaching, so they couldn't be here, but this isn't everybody.
Yes, thank you, Joe. I meant to mention that. I actually had a list right here and I didn't even. We do have other faculty who are teaching or busy and weren't able to join. But as you see already from the people that are here, we have faculty that span the range from forensic biology type of applications, entomology, forensic biology, forensic DNA, forensic serology, all the way to others that aren't here. That includes forensic anthropology, Dr. Simmons, who wasn't able to be here, for example. We also have a full-time faculty member, Professor Walcott, who whose expertise is firearm and tool mark analysis. So she teaches a lot of the grad and undergraduate courses in that area. And then also we have another chemist, Dr. Peace, who is also a toxicologist, whose work is very complementary but different than Dr. Alves, who you just met, and others. So that's not everybody, but that's a good slice. I did want to let you know that we have a broad range of expertise here, and you will get to know everybody once you get here. Thanks, Joe, for that reminder.
Thanks, Tracy. All right, so you guys are already admitted. Most of you came to the virtual open house or have watched the virtual open house. So I'm really not going to spend a huge lot of time on, the overall curriculum. What I really want to do in the short time that I have with you, we have about 30 minutes, is just talk about the things that admitted students are often asking me. And so things like what to register for in this semester, housing, that kind of thing. So a lot of students ask about housing. We have a lot of different resources on VCU's websites for housing. For the most part, most of our graduate students do tend to live off campus. There are a lot of apartment complexes and individual houses that are within walking distance, or the apartment complexes have bus routes. And so a lot of students do that. There is limited numbers of on-campus graduate student housing as well. So if you're interested in on-campus housing, definitely go to VCU Resident Life. If you're interested in off-campus, this is a great resource here, the off-campus VCU link. But then I would also encourage you, Joe is gonna send out an email asking that if you're willing to share your VCU email address with your classmates. And if that's the case, then we want to connect you guys so that you can talk about maybe renting an apartment or a house together and helping each other find opportunities. In terms of moving to VCU, you guys are all coming from different backgrounds. So some of you are here already in Richmond. Some of you are familiar with Richmond, and some of you, are from a different urban environment. Some of you are from the country. I would definitely visit if you're thinking about renting an apartment. Make sure that it's in a decent part of town so that you feel safe. And most of the places around VCU are relatively safe. There are a couple of areas that we probably wouldn't recommend that you go to. And honestly, if you have questions about if particular areas are decent or not, I am not the person to ask. So I live outside of town about an hour. So you might want to ask Jo. She's lived in Richmond all of her life. Sorry, Jo. But she would be a great resource if you were wondering about specific areas in town while you're considering your housing. As I go through this, if you have any questions as we go along, feel free to like raise your hand or put something in the chat and I can address it as we go along. Let's see. A lot of other questions that I see are in terms of funding and financial aid. So I would strongly recommend that you take advantage of VCU's financial aid website. Just like with undergraduate, you're going to need to fill out the FAFSA. I don't think graduate students are automatically considered to be independent from their parents, but the financial aid website and resources would be better suited for advising you on that. So definitely fill out the FAFSA to see if there's any, you should be eligible for student loans, but also there may be some grants or work study that you would be eligible for as well. And if when you submit that FAFSA, if you're found to be eligible for work study, please let me know. Because we can do our best to find you an opportunity or create an opportunity in the department. Work study is really easy for us to build a position for. And so if you're eligible for work study, please let me know. I'll keep it confidential, of course, but I want to help you as much as possible. And if we can't find positions in the department, we have lots of contacts on the medical campus, the biology and chemistry departments, for faculty who are looking for research assistants, because our goal is that if you're going to work, you are working in a science-related field so that you're moving your career forward. Other types of employment that are not necessarily work study dependent are also commonly available, and they start to become available in early May, and we send out announcements as they come out. So the first one I want to talk about is the teaching assistantships. So we do offer 4 to 5 teaching assistants each year. All of you were automatically considered for it, but we have already filled those positions. None of the teaching assistantships, whether it be forensic science, biology, or chemistry, offer tuition at this point. However, we do expect that we will have a couple of biology and maybe even some chemistry teaching assistantship opportunities come up sometime between now and July. And when those departments contact us, we will immediately send out notification. Usually all they want to see is that you've taken basic biology or chemistry, depending on which we're talking about, and they want a quick resume. But they are very happy with our graduate students overall. And so it's pretty much a done deal. Did somebody have a question? Okay. So other positions, we do sometimes have hourly positions in the office. And so as those positions come available, we will let you know as well. Our faculty members' research labs often have hourly paid positions, as well as we occasionally do have research assistant funding, which includes a stipend and tuition. Typically that happens when the faculty member has an externally funded project, and it usually covers the second year because that's when you would be doing your research. And so keep an ear out as we're talking about the directed research projects. I'll advise you to interview faculty members in your area of specialty and see who has projects that you're interested in, but also who has funding for projects that could potentially help you pay for school or your time here in Richmond. And then finally, the Virginia Department of Forensic Science. So the crime laboratory typically hires 3 to 4 of our incoming students every summer. So they've been working on this long-term project where they're digitizing the old case files and getting them in a digital format for easy access. And so that pays well. It gets your foot in the door into a crime lab. And finally, it is very flexible around your schedule. And so again, as that opportunity comes up, we also will send that out immediately to all of our students. So between all of these opportunities, every year, and so I've been the graduate director for 4 years, and then Tracy and Dr. Simmons were graduate directors prior to this. And so every year that I can recall, 80 to 100% of our students have some type of part-time employment that is science-based. And that's important to us. And it should reassure you that we're doing our best to help you financially, because we know this is a big step for you. The other thing I wanted to talk about real quick is scholarship opportunities. So most of the departmental scholarship opportunities are for first year students in the second semester of their time here, or second year students. And so for incoming forensic science students, we don't have any specific departmental scholarships. That said, there is a graduate school scholarship that is specifically designed to cover in-state tuition. So for those of you who are out of state, it would cover the in-state tuition portion. And it is specifically for underrepresented populations pursuing a master's degree. Last year, 4 of our students got this. And so I would strongly recommend that if you're interested in applying this for this, and you feel like you're an underrepresented population, that could be female or an ethnic minority or another type of underrepresented population. I will send out the link. There's a pile of links that I'm going to send out to you guys after today's meeting. I will send that link as well. I believe it requires a personal statement and then a nomination letter from me, which I'm happy to give. Okay. It's due on May 2nd. So you should know if you'll receive that scholarship prior to starting in the fall. So we will send that out as well as the VCU Scholarship Hub, where you can search for specific qualifiers that are unique to you that could help you fund your education. Any other questions about finances? Okay.
I actually do have a question. Sorry.
All right, Elizabeth.
How can we access do we have like an e-bill or anything? And when do we get access to that?
So you have an EID already. Is your email working? Have you tried that?
Yes.
Okay. So you should be able to access VCU's e-services. So I'm just going to share it. So if you Google VCU e-services, it's going to take you to this link. And since you have your EID, you should be able to type it in along with your password and access. Sorry, it doesn't like Chrome on my computer. It only likes Edge. I don't know why, but I'm going to pull it up real quick. I'm sorry. So on this website, and I'm glad that you brought it up, because on this website, you can register for classes, you can see your bill, you can update your address and all of that. Here we go again. Okay. So this is what, have you been on here? Okay. So your award letter and financial aid status should all be on here. In terms of paying your bill, I don't know. I haven't been in grad school here since 2013. So I'm not sure, but I think that there's probably a link, right, Joe, where you can pay or a link
I
to.
actually don't know that.
So you're probably not going to see a, maybe it's Navigate. You're probably not going to see a bill until you're registered for classes and it's like July. So that's probably when you're going to see your first financial statement. And everything's going to go through your VCU email address. Like I've been emailing you through your personal address, but everything moving forward will be going through your VCU email address because that's what we're required to do.
Hey, Sarah.
Yeah.
Olivia said that it is there in where you were, but it's under the student tab is how you get to it.
Thank you, Olivia. I should have known one of our current VCU students would be able to tell us. All right, so also in that vein, you can register for classes, and I'm going to talk about what to register for, but you can go through registration. I'm not sure if you're eligible to register yet, but you soon should be able to, and it will tell you when you click on this link. And again, I'm going to send out the list of classes that you guys are registering for, but also list of classes and also all of the other links that I promised you. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about what you're going to start off with in your first year. But just as a background, remember that our primary goal here in this program is to first prepare you for a career in a forensic laboratory. Most of our students and alumni do go on to careers in public forensic laboratory, whether that's at the federal, state, or local level. Some do go on to private forensic laboratories, and often we have alumni that bounce back and forth because they're very good forensic laboratories in the private sector as well as the public sector. Probably 2 or 3 out of every class, 1 to 3 out of every class go on to further graduate studies. Typically that's a PhD, but we have had students go on to medical school, PA school, law school, of course. And so that is also another area that we strive to prepare you for. In doing that, we are FEPAC accredited. We just received our 5-year reaccreditation this spring. And so we make sure that you meet all of the FEPAC requirements. Really at the heart of the FEPAC requirements are that you receive a solid scientific foundation and that you're well prepared for the specialty that you are interested in doing. And so that's very important to us. In your first year particularly, you'll receive some broad exposure to all of the different areas of specialty within forensic science. And the purpose of that really is so that you're well prepared to play well with the other specialties when you move into the crime laboratory. So, you know, I'm a DNA scientist, but when I was in the laboratory, I had to coordinate quite often with firearms, fingerprints, and drug analysis because we would have items of evidence coming into both sections. And so it's important to understand, you know, what they do or what all of the different specialties do so that you don't get in each other's way and that you can work together. And so that's really the biggest reason why we do still provide some broad exposure and then move you into specialization for your area of interest. We have a lot of strong ties with accredited laboratories. We've had students and we have alumni all over the country and the world. And so that makes for really great networking and research opportunities for you as a graduate student, but also moving into your career as well. And we're very student focused. So like Tracy said, we are in a large university, but we're a very small department. And we know each of the graduate students by name, and we really value that as a really important aspect of this program. So for your first semester, everybody takes mostly the same thing. Everybody takes seminar. And so seminar again is where we have outside speakers come in and speak about their areas of specialty. We also have some master's students present their research in their second year. I believe the outside speakers next year will be via Zoom, because it's really great that we can pull speakers from all over the world into our seminar series. And then our master's students who are presenting their research are going to be in person. And so it's kind of a hybrid class. Everybody will take the instrumentation and forensic chemistry lecture. And then actually, I didn't update this slide, sorry. The forensic chemistry, drugs toxicology, trace, and physical evidence students will also take the forensic chemistry laboratory instead of the DNA laboratory. So that's a change from this slide, but again, I will send this table out, the updated table out in our email later today. Everybody takes microscopy and laboratory, and then everybody takes DNA lecture, but only the forensic biology students take the lab section of DNA. Now, I know that a lot of you are really anxious to get registered, and whenever you're ready to register, you are welcome to. However, I would say that don't feel too much of a rush, because we know how many of you are in the class, and these classes are dedicated for first-year students. And so we'll make sure that there are enough seats for all of you. So no need to panic, but if you would like to register, please do so. Okay. Any questions about this? Okay. All right, so a couple of minor things that sometimes come up for incoming students, and then as you continue through the program. So if you're coming in under a specific concentration, for the most part, we've specifically evaluated your course, your undergraduate coursework, to make sure that you're prepared for that concentration. And if you want to switch concentrations, in some cases you can, but in some cases it's a conditional approval pending additional coursework. So for example, if you're coming in as a forensic biology student and you've done a lot of genetics and molecular biology and cell biology, and you're well prepared for that, but then decide that toxicology is where you want to be, that's fine. But when you submit your request, the graduate committee is going to review your prior coursework. And if you don't have enough foundational upper level chemistry coursework, we're going to ask that you take additional undergraduate level, upper level chemistry coursework, so that number one, you'll be successful in the master's program, but more importantly, so that you'll be able to get a job. So when students are applying for specific areas of specialty, the crime laboratories are looking for specific courses. And so if you don't have the specific courses that they're looking for, they will automatically eliminate you as a potential student. And that's why we're very strict on what foundational coursework you need for the different disciplines. So if you decide you want to change, that's fine. Please come and meet with me and talk to me about it. And then we'll review your undergraduate transcript and see if there's additional coursework that you have to take. A lot of students have also asked about adding another concentration. While it is not impossible, it is strongly discouraged, primarily because it's a lot of work. This is also a master's program, and so you are specializing down a particular area of science at this point. And so cross-training is less useful now, right? That said, there's a couple of exceptions within and between the forensic chemistry tracks. So the drugs tox and the trace people often will take the other set of courses as elective credits. And we do have some room for elective credits. And so that is often encouraged. That said, you know, having a forensic biology and a forensic toxicology concentration is going to be much more difficult to do, and probably would keep you here at least another semester, if not another year. And so we strongly discourage that. In fact, I can't remember the last student, maybe 10 years ago, who did it. Something that comes up quite often and that we're happy to do are course waivers and substitutions. So some of these first year foundational courses, you may have had something similar as an undergraduate student. And so specifically, we are happy to review courses that are somewhat equivalent to crime scene investigation, evidence and procedure, microscopy, and DNA. So if you took any courses that are similar to those at the undergraduate level and you received an A or a B on those courses, please email me, ideally before you start registering for classes in the fall, with your syllabus and the request, and I will take a look at the syllabus, or I will let our subject matter experts take a look at that syllabus. And if we agree that it's an eligible substitution, you will not have to take that class here. You still will need to take 42 credits. And so what that really means is that you'll have a couple of extra elective credits to take. So if, of course, students coming from VCU, we have a really simple, we know what those equivalents are, but students who are coming from outside of VCU, we are also happy and often do give substitutions. And so just contact me, send me your syllabus, and I'll see what I can do. All right, so I only have a couple minutes before our graduate students come in. So I'm gonna slide through this pretty quickly, but I just wanted to remind you that a really key part of our master's program is an intensive original research project. And so the real beauty about this project is that it can be done here at VCU. It can be done at the Virginia Department of Forensic Science here in Richmond or one of their other laboratories, or it can be done at a crime laboratory near your hometown if you want to go back and kind of get your foot in the door there. The only requirement is that it be some type of novel research. This research project is a minimum of 3 credits or 300 hours of laboratory work. And the only thing I'm really gonna say about this is don't panic. You are not expected to come up with the project. Your faculty advisor, who I will assign to you probably in July, will assist you in identifying laboratories that would be useful for you in your area of concentration that you're interested in, and location. And so just don't panic. We actually will not even talk about it until October. And then you guys and I will have a 1-hour meeting where I'll go through all of the details and how to find a mentor and how to select your committee and all of that. So it's a really exciting part of your time here at VCU, and it really launches students. I can't even tell you how many alumni have gotten fabulous job opportunities specifically because of the techniques and research that they did in their research project. All right, so these are some of the previous sponsors of Directive Research Projects. As you can see, it is international and at the state, local, and federal level. And so lots of opportunities. Finally, where will you be in 2 years? So this is our class who just graduated in 21, so last May. They had an average start date within 95 days of graduation. A lot of that delay is because of background checks. Remember that this is a public trust position. And so even if you have an offer in March, it may take until July for you to make it through the background check and have a start date. So we had 1 student pursue her PhD. We had 16 employed in a forensic laboratory full-time, and then 6 at an analytical laboratory. And so we're very thrilled to have such great job statistics every single year. So you can expect to have the same. the research that our students do is high quality, and that's really well represented by our level of participation in the forensic science community. So over 80% each year of our master's students present at a forensic science conference. We have about 16 oral presentations and 20 posters per year, even during COVID. And about 12 publications a year. 80% of those have master's students as co-authors. And this is a list of different places our students have gone on to as alumni. These are their full-time positions. There are many, many, many others. I don't know that I can even name a laboratory at this point that we don't have alumni in. So it's an exciting place to be. We're really going to set you up for a great career. So any other questions before I hand you off to our current master's students? No? Okay. So we've got a couple of first and second years master's students from all of the different disciplines, all of the different concentrations. And I am going to turn down the volume so that I can't hear what you guys are talking about. And so I won't be paying attention until about 10 after 12. So you guys can ask all the questions that you want of them, and it won't, none of the faculty will hear. And then I'll pop back in about 5 minutes before the end of our session and see if you have any more questions before we close out for the day, okay? But
Hey, Sarah, so for the faculty and staff that are in here, you want us to sign out, basically?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Bye, everybody. Have fun. Ask them lots of questions.
It's good to meet you guys, and please let me know if there's anything I can do to help.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Emily, and I'm in the TRACE section. I'm also the upcoming president of the Forensic Science Graduate Organization, so we should be doing some good, fun things this next semester when you come in. So I guess we could just go around and have our graduate students introduce themselves and their subjects. So like I said, I'm Emily, I do TRACE. I'm from Colorado, where I studied forensic science chemistry. Berkeley, do you want to go next? You got
I am a first year forensic chemistry drugs and toxicology concentration, and I'm the upcoming vice president of the Forensic Science Graduate Organization, and my undergraduate degree was in chemistry.
Emma?
Hi, my name is Emma Hurst. I'm a first year. I'm in the bio track. I'm originally from Florida, where I studied forensic studies and did a chem minor. So I had a weird route of getting here. Who else is in here? I think Amber said she was gonna.
I'm here.
Oh, okay, there's Zach.
I am another first year student. I'm also in the drug tox program with Berkeley. I got my my major in forensic science and a minor in chemistry. Is anyone else from the degree here?
I'm here.
There's Kylie.
I'm Kylie. I am a first year graduate student in the one and only physical evidence track. I am originally from Tennessee. I did my undergraduate in North Carolina, and I got a double major in forensic biology and criminal justice. And I'm also a teaching assistant for the program. So if anyone is a future TA, you can ask me questions about that too.
Cool. So I don't know if we have time to introduce everyone, but we'll meet you next year when you come. But if you guys, we can start off by asking questions based on the sections. So does anyone have questions about drugs and tox?
Drugs, tox is horrible. How about bio?
I have a question
biology. Woot woot.
We win.
How is that chemistry class that we have to take? Because when she talked about it, my heart dropped. I was like, oh my gosh, do I have to take this lab too?
You don't have to take the lab.
Yeah.
Earhart's is what I think you were talking about. Well, do you remember the exact title? Because it would be Earhart's, right?
It was like chemistry
instrumentation
instrumental.
class.
Yeah.
Okay. The class is terrifying. The professor is great. You will be absolutely fine. I guarantee it. I promise you. It's because like I thought I was good at chemistry, and then I met everyone in the talks and medicine, and I was very wrong. I'm not good at chemistry. I learned that. But no, in all honesty, you'll be fine. Earhart, he's the one that teaches it. Great professor. Everyone is really helpful. If you're stuck, like, don't be afraid to ask. I promise they're not going to judge you, because that was my biggest concern. I thought they were going to think I was an idiot.
And don't forget, you know, we're all taking that class together. So you've got chemistry people, you've got biology people, and you can also ask them for help. I know Emma helped me a lot with the bio class because I am awful at bio. I hate it, but I was great at instrumentation. So we were able to share our knowledge and pull each other through. So don't just, you know, we're all here to help. So
that's one great thing about the first semester is you're all in the same classes and you can study together, and everyone's bringing in information from different backgrounds. Like Zach was saying, he was really good in chemistry. I was good in bio. We were able to help study, and we were really get that information out there. So I think you guys will be fine. Just learn to communicate. That it's not cheating. I feel like I need to throw that out there. Don't cheat. You'll learn that. It's a big thing here.
I have another question about bio.
I'm like 2 for 2 here. Okay, great. What's up?
So I know that biochemistry was a requirement more so coming into the program. How much do you actually see that like proving to be beneficial? Like, do you really use it is what I'm asking, because it's currently kicking my butt.
You use it, but I understand exactly that feeling. It not in the same context that you learn in undergrad. It's very different, but same. Like, so you use the knowledge in a different way, but it makes sense because you are going to be applying it in front of you. You will be hands-on applying it. So it makes sense. Like, you're not just staring at it on a piece of paper. Like, I know when I came in, I was a little worried about that because because COVID, I'm sure you guys have had the same experience. A lot of my lab experiences were cut really short or where they weren't as in depth, but you do get that here. So I wouldn't worry about it too much.
Does anyone have any other like specific questions? Okay. Well, I think it would help if we like us graduate students go through and talk about like something we didn't expect, like that wasn't in the presentation that you guys saw today. So I guess I'll go first for trace. What I didn't expect is that there's only 2 classes that are required for trace, which is fire debris and explosives, and then polymers and paints. But that leaves you with a lot of time to do extra classes. So it's really fun to just work on building up like a resume. Like, I'm taking an advanced drug class, although I'm not in the drugs section. And I think that's really fun. That's what I thought was fun. Okay. Berkeley, do you want to?
Somebody else go. I gotta think a little bit.
Oh, she's got to think of one.
I have one very similar to what Emily said. Again, I'm in the physical evidence track. So a lot of the other concentrations are heavily like lab focused, where you're using, you know, the chemistry, like machinery, and the biology, different kind of techniques. Physical evidence, we do a lot of like crime scene, such kind of stuff, as well as like fingerprints, footwear. Like Emily was saying, though, the physical evidence track, really some of the only other, besides the typical first year stuff, we only have to do like crime scene as a requirement. Besides that, everything else can be elective. You can choose it to be whatever you want. So like, I'm very interested in firearms and fingerprints, and so I'm doing those kind of classes. I'm also taking like a forensic medicine class because I think like the autopsy stuff's kind of cool. So, one thing that I really enjoyed was kind of tailoring my schedule to what I want to do.
I have one now. I think Dr. Williams did a really good job of like explaining how you get your first semester is definitely like a holistic view of like all the different disciplines, because you have to take the bio course if you're a chemistry person and stuff like that. And what actually surprised me was at the time I was thinking forensic biology, because I'm not a biologist, I'm a chemist. But it's kind of amazing how much, especially as a toxicologist in training, that you use the stuff that you learn in those classes, and how much like everybody is a help to that process. Like, not only do your chemistry professors know chemistry, they also know biology, and they're able to help you in a lot of different ways. So that was really cool.
So the one thing that I have to say, it's not something I wasn't expecting, but I think it's really cool that the drug tox program, you go to the Virginia Department of Forensic Science and perform a class there. So you're actually in a forensic laboratory doing tests that are routinely used on drugs. And I just think that that is exceptionally cool, just being in that kind of environment, doing everything that you hopefully are going to be aspiring to do in 3 or 4 years' time.
Yeah, and I noticed that from what Zach said, the instrumentation lab for the chemistry students, the process is a lot different than the actual like lab inside the DFS. And I thought that was interesting.
I don't have one for me. I guess outside of the program, I'll do one for outside the program, because I'm from Florida. I lived in a beach town. Moving to Richmond was shocking, and to say the least. If you guys have any questions about Richmond, you can ask those too. It's busy here. That's surprising. Everyone's got very fast-paced mentality. So that's interesting. It's the only thing I can really add to that.
And Emma, do you recommend where you live right now for people looking for apartments?
No, you keep starting a rant. If you guys have you guys decided on living like where you're living yet? Has that happened already? Am I too late? I'm seeing some nods and some shakes. I'm gonna make some people very scared. Please don't live at the James on Bacon Avenue. I see some faces. Please tell me you don't.
Oh
no. Feel free to message me.
I definitely will. I will.
We'll get you through it.
What about Grace and Monroe, or like Monroe Park or whatever?
I've heard that's fine. That's on a good street. Cary, Belvedere, and Pine Court are also good. I've heard good reviews.
Marshall's a good street too.
Marshall's a good street.
I found my apartment through the university property. So like UP Adams, if you search that up, they have a bunch of like old renovated apartments along Marshall Street. So they're like really cute and like a close enough walk, because I don't have a car. So I'm like a 20-minute walk away, but it's fine. There's also buses and stuff.
Thing. If you guys do bring a car, parking is extremely expensive. So just make sure you incorporate that in your decision to get like a parking pass or where you live. Just heads up, because that was a very big shock. I've never heard of paying to park on a street. That is absolute madness.
Yeah, for
to that. Oh, sorry, Kylie.
Oh no, you're go ahead.
I was just gonna say it does depend on where you live and like what streets you're on. I know that there's a person that lives on Franklin that got like a really cheap parking pass for the fan that is eligible to make them park wherever. You can also do VCU parking decks. Those are very expensive, but they're guaranteed parking, which is nice. And then depending on where you live, sometimes you're next to streets that don't have time limits and don't have charges. So like I live on Carey Street and you have to pay to park on Carey Street, but the side streets like Cherry and Laurel, they don't require you to pay. So as long as you don't park illegally, you don't have to pay. So not to completely scare the crap out of you.
Yeah, like I was saying, I live at the Square Apartments. It's like 5-minute walk from the library. 10 out of 10 recommend. But if you don't have housing yet, don't be too concerned. There's tons of Facebook groups out there. That's how I found mine. I'm in like 3 different groups and I see about 20 posts a day about people looking for roommates. You can make a post on there. One of my friends made a post on there and she got 17 people in one day message her begging them to live with her. So yeah, don't be too concerned about living.
Hey, Emily, there's a question in the chat about making a group. Is that something you're going to do like on Facebook, making a new incoming friends?
Yeah, so I don't remember when they did that last year, but eventually they're going to add you all to a group in Facebook and then like a GroupMe account. So you all can introduce yourself and get to like communicate, but then you'll also have our numbers. If you want, I think we can put our emails in the chat so you guys can have those in case you have any other questions.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'm pretty sure Izzy made our GroupMe.
Yeah,
I feel like if anything, y'all could probably email Joe. Joe is literally the backbone of this program. And Joe will get you connected. And if that's something that all of y'all are interested in, I'm sure she could find a way to share that, unless y'all want to share it with yourselves.
Like I know we joined our Facebook group like in the middle of summer so we can start like looking for roommates. That's how Berkeley found a roommate and communicate with each other. And then someone in our group made a GroupMe, but it's just like a nice way to like connect with the people because these are going to be your classmates for the rest of like 2 years. And I definitely miss my classmates from the first semester when we had all of our class together. And I'm excited for next semester when we all get to come together again. Because it was really, you start off together in the first semester and then you kind of like split up. But I'm excited to like come back together, you know?
I think we only have like 7 minutes left until they come back. So does anybody have any other questions?
I actually had I just had a specific one. I don't know if it'll actually apply to anyone. It might apply to some people actually coming in as well. Did any of you actually substitute a class or something or are thinking about it? Because I have eligible classes because I did go to VCU, but I was like, I don't know if I should do it or if I should just take them again because I graduated in 2020. So it's like, it has been a while since I've taken those classes, but I don't know if I need to like build on those classes or if I could just substitute them and just take electives. So I was wondering what you guys think.
What track are you going into? Because that's going to affect my answer.
Drug and tox.
Okay, I'm not going to be able to answer that for you.
I thought about it. I'm not in drug stocks, but I did something similar. I had a few classes which were very aligned with what you have to take for the first semester. One thing I would recommend is, since you said it's been a while, consider how well you like retain that information. If you feel like you know it really well, then you could probably substitute it, especially since you took it at VCU. It's going to be very, very similar curriculum. Undergraduate and graduate kind of on the same level. Graduate just goes a little more in depth. But if you feel like you were very confident in what you did in undergrad, I'd recommend substituting it so you can get more electives in.
All right, thanks.
Hi, so I do have a question. How much knowledge are we supposed to know about our specific track before going into graduate school? So like I'm interested in drug and tox, but I have a forensic chem background. So related, but not so much how much should I know before going in?
Do you mean like how much content wise, or like how much should you know about like what you want to do?
Content wise, like classes, like should I know what these drugs are already, or is there like more of an intro to it?
The classes, while they go in depth, do a very good job of kind of start giving you a baseline of knowledge. I didn't know a lot about drugs, and in my advanced drug class, I'm not doing terrible. It's very in depth. But I didn't need to know anything beforehand. Really, the only thing that's going to be important, in my personal opinion, some other people's opinions may differ, but I found that like the foundational chemistry knowledge was all that you really need. Like, how do instruments work? How do you conduct yourself in the lab? How do you work through a problem and, be a student of a science class? It's the rest, I promise but you're not going to be quizzed on the first day like, what's the structure of cocaine? Like that, nothing like that.
Mhm.
I
I think
thank you.
for like drugs and any other chemistry, I think a big thing is organic chemistry. Because I've seen a lot of like in drugs, you see a lot of functional groups in OChem, and you have to like talk about how they interact with things. And same within trace. In my fire debris class right now, we're talking about a bunch of organic compounds. And I would have liked to have reviewed my OChem before going into that. So I think just like your basic undergraduate understanding, maybe like review it a little bit, but I think you'll be fine with what comes in.
Yeah, and I'm gonna apply that same question to bio because like I had said earlier, I was forensic studies with a chem minor. So I was very out of left field for bio. You'll be fine. I think as long as you understand like the bare basics, you'll be okay. You guys are all here because you're smart. So I'm sure you'll be able to like build onto what you know from the basics.
I will say also, sorry, as a toxicologist, introductory bio looks different for everybody, but introductory bio helped a lot, like understanding basic like inhibition and like how cells kind of work and like receptors and stuff, like just very baseline knowledge. You don't need to know the nitty gritty details, but that did help a lot. So general bio as well.
Overall, what would you guys say like the grade performances? Like, I know for certain schools, like for my school, if you have like an A, B, like that's kind of just like expected. But then like in some classes, they're like, oh, a C's fine. But like, since it's a more rigorous program, what are the expectations?
So I don't know.
Oh, you
Zach,
want to
you
answer
go.
it, Emily? So for your entire 2 years at VCU, you are allowed 1 C. And for the most part, that's expected to occur your first semester. So if you're good in chemistry, your C is most likely going to be in biology.
Not
If you're a
always.
biologist, your C is most likely in instrumentation. It's not that these classes aren't, they're challenging, they're just something that's new to you, but you are allowed that 1 C. Other than that, A's and B's are expected.
I want to, because I am on the bio track and my first C was in the A bio class. I'm just going to throw that out there. It gets better, honestly. Like, I think I can't speak for them, but I can speak for somewhere on the bio track. I think we've all had like that moment of like, what am I doing? I don't know if the other tracks can. I see some head nodding, so yeah. I promise you, you will get through it. It seems really scary, but as soon as you're past it, you're like, oh my gosh, I did that. And talk to your professors. They want you to do well. They do not want you to fail. They will help you, I promise.
I would even say that just because it's expected, but it's expected because it's very attainable. I know that a lot of people, they kind of get towards it's always in the back of your head. I will say that it's never going to go away. Like, oh, I can't get a C or I can't get another C. But working with your professors and doing what's expected of you is, I would not say, an overwhelming challenge. Will it be hard sometimes? Yes, but A's and B's are very attainable.
I have a question about TAing. So what are like how many classes do you TA, and how do you like balance that with your classes, and like what are kind of like your like responsibilities as a TA?
Yeah, so we take 4 classes as a student and you TA 3. So it really depends on what professor you get. I've had some professors who are like, you don't even need to show up. I'm not really going to use you, this, that, and the other. I've had some professors who you need to be there to set up labs. You need to be there to do prep for it. So what concentration are you going into?
I'm Trace.
Okay, so yeah, you're going to be doing a lot of the physical evidence and trace classes, some chem stuff. And so with those classes, you'll have to prep reagents, kind of get everything set up so that when the students come in, they can just start right away on the lab so that you don't waste any more time. We do have to help out Joe once a week, twice a week, where you just do typical administrative stuff. But overall, it's really not that bad. It's very convenient for me because you're already on campus for classes. And so your job is in the same area. And so I feel like it's very convenient, super easy to balance. They work around. I have classes that I TA that go overlap with the classes that I take. And it's very easy where I'll be TAing for like an hour and then I'll just go take my class. And so they're very lenient with that.
Okay, thank you.
I think our time is up.
Yeah, thank you guys so much to our current students for attending and for our admitted students who came today. Were there any last questions before we close the session for the day? Well, I will send out a link with this recording along with the list of classes that you need to register for and the links to the scholarships to all of you today. And then just make sure to get your e-services set up so that you have your EID, put your new VCU email on your phone so you get notifications so that when we get those job opportunities and scholarship opportunities, you see them, all right? And we're looking forward to seeing you soon. Come visit us, like Tracy said, before August even. Good luck with the rest of your semester.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.